In this video, I'm going to be telling you how I went from this to this, so enjoy. Welcome back to my channel. In the last video, we talked about how to do a handstand, the drills you need to do, the technique you need to learn, and the mindset you need to adopt in order to get to where you want to be. So in this video, I'm going to add a little bit of credibility to the last video and show my handstand journey, where I'm at now, the things I'm working towards. I'm going to show what it looked like when I was a beginner, what it looked like as I was learning, as I got more advanced, and obviously what it looks like now. So without further ado, this is my handstand journey. I hope you enjoy.
So my curiosity for developing a handstand started in late 2017. Now the video you're watching right now was November 2017, however I had been trying for a few months before that as well, so bear that in mind. So this is the earliest possible clip I could find. But as you can see, I'm literally just trying to stand on my hands, but I end up walking, which is me correcting the overbalance. I didn't really understand how to fight that in the beginning. I didn't really understand how to just stand still on my hands. I actually found it a lot easier to walk than I did to stand. The problem with people when they first start practicing hand balancing is that they don't practice consistently enough. They'll get something and then they'll leave it for ages because they feel like they've achieved it. When you get something, you have to press on, you have to engage that even more and practice that even more to make it solid. Practice makes permanent, not perfect. Now, this was actually my problem when I first started. I was not consistent enough. So this clip you're watching right now is actually filmed in January 2018. So I hadn't even filmed any clips in like 2 months. And as you can see, I'm pretty much at the same level as I was in the first clip you've seen. But it was a new year and I was determined to become a master. I was determined to get these amazing holds that I was seeing on Instagram and hold different shapes and start developing one arms and doing all these fancy skills that I've always dreamed of doing. So I decided to start grinding, conditioning, putting the work in, putting the effort in, and trying to get my freestanding holds as solid as possible. However, amongst training for hand balancing, I was also experimenting with other things like parkour, like doing flips and stuff like that. I was experimenting with kickboxing. I was basically trying to do too much at once and not focusing on one solid thing. It's hard to structure hand balancing when you first start because if you can't do consistent holds, you can't do timed sets or anything like that. You can't do like tuck reps, you can't do straddle reps. It feels very limited, but it's not. You can do a lot of work on the wall. There's a load of drills you can do to get to your handstand. Something I actually did was doing a lot of frog stands, crow pose, and playing around with that kind of things. Doing the arm balances that I could do and timing them. This helped me a lot into getting a solid handstand. So for the next few months, I carried on just doing my wall drills, getting strong and building up my awareness, implementing techniques and trying to get to the point where I could do a freestanding handstand without any worries at all. It took me till about April to get consistent holds, and this is what they look like. So by my standards now, this is obviously number one, really bad alignment. Number two, it's really, really wobbly. I can look at this and tell that this took about 50 attempts to get. And yeah, obviously it wasn't something I was happy with. I wanted to get a solid line. I wanted to get a solid straddle, diamond, stag, tuck. I wanted all my shapes to be in order and I wanted to look good while doing it. This just wasn't good enough for me. So I kept working on getting strong and practicing, but again, I wasn't consistent enough. I wasn't doing handstands often enough to be amazing at them yet. But it wasn't until around June, July time that I started to get consistent, solid holds with a much better alignment. And this actually gave me the motivation to start drilling this a little bit more, start doing different shapes, start doing timed holds and seeing how long I could go for. And overall, this was a bit of a breakthrough period for me. But as you can see at this point, I still wasn't implementing the techniques I talk about today and the techniques that I'll teach to people today, the techniques that I'll think about while I'm actually doing a handstand. And it just wasn't quite it. So I always say that summer is by far my favourite time of the year. I don't know, I seem to just do more in summer, I seem to just feel happier in summer, and I was way more motivated to do handstands in the summer of 2018. So here's a reel of clips of how my training was going over that summer and what my handstand looked like around 2 years ago. So as you can see, I started experimenting around with different entries to the handstand, different shapes, the easier shapes of course, such as straddle. And yeah, I just started to get more comfortable being upside down and actually holding the handstand a lot more consistently as well. So towards the end of July 2018, I started getting more comfortable with my alignment and I started getting longer holds. And this for me was a massive breakthrough. I could do the skill now, I could do a handstand at this point. So in my head, now that I could hold a solid handstand, it was time to start working on things like press. Now here is my first attempt at a pike and a straddle press. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is what a press to handstand actually looks like. Now at this point I was just trying to jump my legs up thinking that, I don't know, maybe I'd gain some strength from doing that. In all honesty, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. But that definitely didn't stop me from trying. So over the next few months I kept practicing and trying to get my holds as solid as possible. And this is what they look like a year into my training. So as you can see, the holds are now pretty solid, and that ends my training for 2018. I didn't actually do any more training in 2018 because I actually went to Thailand for a month where we pretty much just partied the whole time and I didn't end up doing any exercise whatsoever. I feel like whenever I go away that I come back from my holiday or my trip or whatever I'm doing with a sense of purpose. And I went away for a month, which is the longest time I've ever spent away from home in England. And yeah, I came back and I really knew what I wanted to do by then, which was handstands. So I went into 2019 super driven. I started a new Instagram account to log my progress and my journey and share that with people like yourselves. And I started logging my progress properly, and I started writing down every single workout that I did, down to every single exercise that I did. So this is my training log, which I started at the beginning of 2019. There's just pages and pages and pages and pages of log workouts. Weirdly proud of this amount of log workouts. So through making this video, I realised a lot actually happened in the year of 2019. I could literally sit here and put in hours of footage of me doing handstands and stuff like that, but I'm going to try to keep this video as short as possible. So in short, from the beginning of 2019 to the end of 2019, I achieved 3 things in my handstand journey. And the first thing out of those 3 that I want to talk about is my press to handstand and the different variations I actually achieved during the 12 months. So the first press that I achieved will be the bent arm tuck press, which I was pretty impressed with myself doing, and it felt amazing when I got it. And then my second and probably my most proudest achievement of 2019 will be the pike and straddle press. Now, I'd looked at the pike press for years and years, people doing it, and to me it just looked impossible. When I tried it, it seemed impossible. So when I got it, it was super rewarding, and I was very happy with myself because of this. The second thing I'm proud to say I achieved was my coordination and my balance. So the ability to move my legs around and transition in between shapes increased massively over the year, and this was really one of my main focuses. This also increased the duration of how long I could hold a handstand. It just made everything feel better all around. Hand balancing is an art at the end of the day, and I wanted to focus on the artistic element of it, I suppose you could say that, by making all these pretty shapes and making it look really aesthetically pleasing while transitioning from shape to shape. So yeah, that was one of my big focuses for 2019, and I feel like I achieved that pretty well. So the third and final aspect I tried to improve on in 2019 was my alignment. Now, the reason why I tried to improve my alignment and get a better line in my handstand is because my end goal of hand balancing is to be able to do one-arm handstands, which is what I'm currently working towards. So I spent a lot of the year doing alignment drills, trying to make sure my line was as perfect as it could be. There is no perfect line, but yeah, I feel like I achieved a good line by the end of the year, and I feel like I've got a good line now. So I'm very happy about that. And this brings me to where I'm at today. So I can now hold all basic shapes for over a minute. I can do advanced shapes. I'm now starting to work on one-arm handstands, as that is my main and next goal to achieve. My press movements are getting stronger and stronger every time I practice them. I'm now working on my flexibility as well, trying to get super bendy. So yeah, I'm really enjoying practice at the moment, and I definitely plan to keep carrying on practicing hand balancing in the future.
So that's video number 2 finished. I'm pretty happy with how the last video went. It seemed to do quite a few views. I got good feedback. People seem to like it. Obviously, if you have enjoyed this video, please go subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, all that fun stuff. Okay, so if you do want to see a little bit more of what happened in 2019, a little bit more in depth and more of the technicalities of it, then leave a comment and let me know, because I'll happily make that video. I just didn't want to make this video like 20 minutes long and sit here and bore you, because it's kind of meant to be a bit more motivational, a little bit of an insight into the way my life's been during my training. So like I said, I hope you have took something away from this video, whether it's motivation, inspiration, or knowledge. Thanks Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.